right. Let's pull up the article. And I was watching the as that was playing, I was thinking about our segment detection, and I realized that the banner played during that black frame that we're supposed to be able to detect. So I wonder if segment detection is going to work while that banner was playing. Now, I know that in segment detection, you can set a percentage threshold. So if 90% of the screen is black, that will count. But I might have to adjust the parameters for this one. I don't remember what I set it at. So I'm just rambling now. Corretto 19, generally available.
Great. Yeah. So for anyone else in the Java world, you probably know this or have been affected by it. A few years ago, as Oracle bought out Sun Microsystems, Java kind of went into this limbo. Oracle decided to have weird licensing around Java, and that just made it really hard for people who were writing applications in Java. And Amazon, or AWS, came up with Amazon Corretto, which is their fork of the OpenJDK stack. And they have really awesome support for Linux and Windows. I haven't tried the Mac OS so much, but it's been working great for anything that is AWS native. And so they just have now support for OpenJDK 19, which is pretty neat. One of the things that we found very interesting is that a lot of the OpenJDKs are now natively optimized to run on Graviton. So if you have Java workloads that need a lot of compute, switching over to Graviton, if you are already on OpenJDK 19 or Corretto 19, then that makes it really, really simple to switch over and start leveraging all the natively built-in optimizations within the Graviton infrastructure.
Well, I wonder how that works with the vector API here, structured concurrency vector API. Yeah, I would be really interested. I'll have a try with that. I'll put it into a dev space and see what it's like to do Corretto 19 in a Graviton. And so we can publish that on the AWS Made Easy repo. That would be a fun experiment.
I do believe we already did an experiment with Corretto. I think we did Corretto 17 and 18, and we benchmarked Corretto 17 and 18 against some of the older versions. So we do have
the
Java
Graviton 3 adoption article?
Yeah, that is the Graviton 3 adoption article where we talked about products like Jive.
I just posted that into the chat. And actually, in 2 weeks, we've got a all about Graviton discussion coming up. And we'll have a guest with that.
Really looking forward to that one as well.
And so there's some good features with Corretto. I looked at our internal chat because I'm not a Java person, but I'll keep this commenter anonymous, but I thought this was actually a pretty good analysis. And I'll put this up onto the board here. Let's see. Java 19, mostly a random set of small enhancements, but virtual threads will make a big impact. So the idea is we have lightweight threading where you can start a Java thread that isn't a one-to-one mapping with an OS thread, so it's a bit lighter. Or I guess in general parlance, this would be considered a green thread.
Yeah.
Much like Go, you can start lots of lightweight threads. Many languages now have support for green threads or virtual threads, or threads that aren't OS threads and don't get all of the mechanisms and weight that a full-on thread at the OS or kernel level would get. But you still get to you can make requests that then wait a long time, and you can have some thread that will poll against that request.
Correct. I think for the last few Java releases, they seem small and incremental, like the comment says. I completely agree. I don't think there are these big bang changes that are happening, but I do believe that a lot of middleware is going to start leveraging these features to get more efficient under the hood. And so getting on the latest versions of OpenJDK is going to make complete sense, because that's what is going to allow you to leverage all the performance improvements and the cost savings that you'll get out of new infrastructure like Graviton. And it really is super simple to move to a newer version of OpenJDK because there aren't any non-backwards compatible breaking changes or new language constructs that you actually see in the language anymore. So I think these are fairly safe and straightforward upgrades to your stack, but they unlock so much more performance and efficiency for the underlying middleware that it feels like a no-brainer.
All right. So to summarize, what do we think of the article in terms of number of clouds?
I would give this 3 to 4.
Okay.
Because if I look at this particular, I'd probably give it a 3. And my reason is this. This seems to talk to customers who are primarily just looking to do vector API, things like that, which isn't really like no one's going to look at this and say, oh, I use vector API in my Java application, and so I should switch over to Corretto 19. That's not the use case you're talking about. I wish they had more around the specific optimizations that they've actually done for the AWS infrastructure. They've tried to keep this very neutral and non-AWS specific in the way they've actually announced this stuff. The only people who use Corretto are the people who are on AWS. And so they might as well have created a great blog post that says, here are the 17 different things that we do within, Corretto 19 that makes it really, really awesome on Amazon, the Linux 2 AMI or the Windows AMI or the Mac OS instances that you might launch. And
that's a really neat
Graviton
point.
as well.
Right. So what are the AWS specific benefits? I'm already, like you said, you're already on Corretto. It's not like Corretto's running in Azure somewhere.
Correct. Exactly. And there's nothing that's AWS specific. So that's why I'm going to give it a 3. And I'm neutral on this one, on simplifies or complexifies. Like, I wish they had more details about why someone should switch over to OpenJDK. This feels very lackluster in terms of a call to action.
All right, we need a neutral graphic.
We need a neutral graphic, I think.
All right. Well, with that, let's take another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about SAM connectors. All right. See you in about 30 seconds.
Public cloud costs